Imagine this, you're paying $5,000 a month for rent, and it's not even for a luxury penthouse. Nope, your place is the size of a walk-in closet, and the neighbors are rats. Literally. Then you hop in your car, spend $7 a gallon on gas, and what do you get in return? 2 hours of your life gone, sitting in traffic, crawling toward a job that mostly covers the rent. Welcome to California, the land where your paycheck doesn't live here anymore. And here's the kicker, millions of people who once chased the California dream, sunshine, palm trees, Hollywood stars, are now saying, forget it, I'm out. They're trading ocean views for open space, smog for fresh air, and million-dollar shoeboxes for actual houses. Crazy, right? The Golden State that once drew people in like moths to a flame, is now driving them away in record numbers. So the question is, what went so wrong with California that people are willing to give up paradise for somewhere, anywhere else? Stick around, because the answers might just make you rethink the California dream altogether. And hey, if you're already nodding your head thinking, yep, that's California, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I've got more deep dives like this coming every week. 1. The cost of living is insane. Now, let's break this down, because if you ask people why they're leaving, one answer keeps coming up over and over again, the cost of living. And when I say insane, I don't mean quirky, California weird. I mean absolutely, jaw-droppingly, what the heck are we doing here insane? Let's start with rent. In San Francisco, a one-bedroom apartment can cost more than a literal castle in parts of Europe. I'm not exaggerating. Imagine telling your friends in Italy that you're paying $3,500 for a shoebox with water pressure that only works on Tuesdays. They'd laugh you right back across the Atlantic. And gas? Oh, don't even get me started. You're not just filling your tank, you're making a small donation to the state every time you pull up at the pump. $7 a gallon in some places. That's not a gas price, that's a threat. And groceries? Forget the Whole Foods memes, you can spend $100 and leave the store with 3 bags of kale, a loaf of bread, and tears in your eyes. Even avocado toast, the unofficial California breakfast, doesn't taste so creamy when you realize you've basically taken out a mortgage just to spread it on your sourdough. It's a toxic relationship, really. You love the beaches, the mountains, the sunshine, but your bank account is screaming for a restraining order. And for millions of Californians, that breaking point has finally come. But maybe you're thinking, okay, I'll pay a little more, it's California, baby. Sunshine and palm trees don't come cheap. Fair point. But here's the thing, it's not just about money. Because once you step outside that overpriced apartment, you realize you're not living in paradise. You're living in a stress simulator. And that stress starts the moment you get in your car. Reason 2, traffic that eats your soul. Alright, so let's say you survive California's insane cost of living. You tighten your budget, skip a few brunches, maybe sell a kidney or 2, and decide, fine, I'll make it work. But then comes your next daily battle, traffic. Now, when I say traffic, I don't mean the usual rush hour slowdown. No, California traffic is an Olympic-level endurance sport. Picture this, you're sitting on the 405 freeway in Los Angeles. The sun is setting, your podcast has ended, your coffee's gone cold, and you've aged 5 years just trying to get to Trader Joe's. It's not a commute, it's a second job, one that doesn't pay. And let's be real, you could literally binge an entire Netflix season during your drive home. Forget Stranger Things, you are the stranger thing, stuck in your car for so long you start talking to the steering wheel like it's your therapist. In California, traffic isn't transportation. It's a lifestyle. You don't just go to work, you go to battle. People plan their lives around freeway schedules. Friend invites you to dinner? You check Google Maps before you say yes. Because if it's across town at 6 p.m., forget it, you're not making it. You'd arrive at dessert. And it's not just LA Bay Area traffic? Same story. San Diego? Yep. Sacramento? Don't sleep on it, every major metro area is basically a parking lot with scenic views. No wonder people are saying, you know what? I'm done with this. I could spend my life moving forward instead of sitting still. But here's the thing, traffic is bad enough. Hours wasted, patience drained, sanity slipping away. But what if, after finally crawling home, you discover your house might actually catch fire? Yeah. That's not a punchline, that's reality in California. And that's our next reason people are sprinting for the exit. Reason 3, wildfires and natural disasters. Now let's talk about something money can't fix, Mother Nature. California is stunning, mountains, beaches, deserts, forests, it's like Mother Nature's highlight reel. But here's the catch, sometimes it feels like nature itself is trying to evict you. Take wildfires, for example. Entire towns have been wiped off the map. Imagine spending years saving up for your dream home in wine country, only to have 5 minutes to grab your kids, your dog, and maybe a laptop before running for your life. That's not a nightmare scenario, it's an annual reality for thousands of families. And if it's not fire, it's drought. Lawns are dead, water restrictions are constant, and you feel guilty just taking a shower. Oh, and earthquakes? Let's not forget California's signature move, the ground shaking under your feet like it's auditioning for Dancing with the Stars. You never know when the big one is coming, but everyone knows it is coming. It's basically like living inside a disaster movie, except the popcorn costs $12 and the exit sign is pointing toward Nevada. For many families, the constant risk, the fear that at any moment, life could be turned upside down, is simply too much. They want safety, stability, peace of mind. And honestly? Who can blame them for packing up and heading out? But hey, maybe you're tough. Maybe you're the kind of person who says, bring it on, the fire, quake, drought, I'll survive. Cool. Respect. But here's the million-dollar question, can you survive something even scarier? Can you handle the politics? Reason 4, political and tax burden. Alright, so let's say you've made peace with California's wildfires and earthquakes. You've bought the fireproof safe, you've got your earthquake kit ready, and you're thinking, okay, I can handle this. But then the government shows up, not at your door, but in your paycheck. California has some of the highest taxes in the nation. We're talking income tax, property tax, sales tax, basically, if it moves, the state will tax it. And if it doesn't move, give them a minute, they'll find a way. It's like the whole system is secretly being run by the monopoly man, except instead of handing out colorful play money, he's emptying your wallet in real life. And here's the kicker, people are asking themselves, what exactly am I paying for? Because for all those sky-high taxes, you'd expect golden roads and flawless services, right? Instead, Californians are dodging potholes that could swallow a Prius, dealing with underfunded schools, and navigating endless bureaucracy that makes renewing your license feel like an epic quest from Lord of the Rings. Think about it, you're working 60, sometimes 70 hours a week just to afford your lifestyle. You finally look at your paycheck, and boom, huge chunks are gone. Then you walk outside and think, wait, this is what I'm paying for? That frustration isn't just simmering, it's boiling over. And it's why so many people are packing up and heading to tax-friendly states like Texas, Nevada, and Florida. Places where you can actually keep more of the money you earn, and maybe even spend it on something fun instead of sending it to Sacramento. And speaking of frustration, it's not just about your wallet. It's about what's happening right outside your front door. Because California's next problem isn't financial, it's human. And it's one of the biggest reasons people say they just can't take it anymore. Quick pause, if you've ever thought about moving out of your state, drop a comment below. I love hearing your stories, and who knows, I might feature your comment in a future video. Reason 5, homelessness crisis. Now let's get real for a moment, because this one hits hard. Walk around certain parts of Los Angeles, San Francisco, or even Sacramento, and you'll see entire blocks lined with tents. Not just a few here and there, actual tent cities that stretch for what feels like miles. California has one of the largest homeless populations in the entire United States, and it's something residents can't ignore. It's heartbreaking, because behind every tent is a story. Veterans, families, people struggling with mental health, people priced out of housing. It's not just numbers, it's lives. And yet, for the people living in these cities, it's also frustrating. You're paying some of the highest taxes in the nation, supposedly to fix problems like this, and you look around and wonder, is anything actually getting better? Add in sky-high housing costs, and it starts to feel like a vicious cycle. For some Californians, the reality is simple: they're one paycheck away from being in that same position themselves. That's a scary thought. So when families see their neighborhoods changing, their costs rising, and their faith in leadership shrinking, they start asking tough questions. And more, their answer is, no thanks, I'm out. Because let's face it, people want safety, dignity, and hope in their communities. And when it feels like those things are slipping away, even paradise doesn't feel worth it anymore. Now, if the social issues don't wear you down, the next problem might literally make your eyes water. And no, I'm not talking about a sad movie, I'm talking about California's air. And hey, if you think California has it rough, wait until you hear why people are leaving Montana too. I've got a whole breakdown on that, check it out after this. 6. Pollution and smog. Remember when LA smog was famous worldwide? Yeah, it's still there. Sure, regulators cracked down and things got cleaner compared to the 80s, but let's be real, the problem never fully went away. On any given summer day, you'll look up and see not a crystal blue California sky, but a hazy, brownish filter, like you're living inside someone's old Instagram post. And it's not just cars anymore. Wildfires pour smoke into the air for weeks at a time, turning the sky orange and coating your patio furniture in ash. Parents keep their kids inside during what should be backyard playtime, and joggers trade their morning runs for indoor treadmills, just trying not to breathe in what feels like a toxic soup. For many families, it's not even about beauty, it's about health. Asthma rates are higher in California cities, and doctors will tell you straight up, if you've got breathing issues, the smog will make it worse. People moving out often say, I just want my kids to grow up breathing clean air, seeing blue skies, and not worrying if wildfire smoke will cancel school again. It's tough to argue with that. After all, what good is sunshine if you can't actually enjoy it? Alright, let's shift gears, because leaving California isn't just about escaping the bad. It's also about chasing something better. And oh boy, the next reason makes moving sound like a dream. Reason 7: bigger houses, lower prices elsewhere. Let's be honest, California real estate is like buying concert tickets for Beyoncé. Even if you get in early, you're still paying way more than you should, and sometimes you don't even get a good seat. In San Jose, Los Angeles, or San Francisco, you're staring down $1.5 million for, what? A 2-bedroom house squeezed so close to your neighbors you can smell their morning coffee. Now compare that to states like Texas, Arizona, or Idaho. For half that price, you're walking into a 5-bedroom mansion with a yard big enough to host Thanksgiving, Christmas, and a family reunion all at once. People who move say it feels like going from a cramped studio apartment to a palace overnight. Some even joke, I didn't move states, I leveled up in real life. And it's not just about the extra square footage, it's about lifestyle. A bigger house means a backyard for the kids, space for a dog, maybe even your own home office that isn't the corner of your kitchen table. Add in a pool or a game room, and suddenly, life feels less like survival and more like, well, living. For Californians making the leap, the math is simple: why stay trapped in a shoebox when you could stretch out in a home that actually feels like your castle? It's not running away, it's upgrading. And if you think it's just about square footage, wait until you hear how the job market is fueling the migration. 8. Remote work freedom. The pandemic flipped the script on what work looks like. Suddenly, your office wasn't in a high-rise in San Francisco, it was your living room, your kitchen table, maybe even your car if the Wi-Fi was acting up. And people started asking the million-dollar question, if I can do my job from anywhere, why am I still paying California prices? Think about it. You can keep that sweet Silicon Valley paycheck, but instead of dropping $4,000 a month on rent for an apartment the size of a walk-in closet, you could buy an actual house in Idaho, Colorado, or Montana, and still have money left over for, groceries. Remote work has made it possible for people to live where they want, not just where the jobs are. And here's the kicker, companies are fine with it. They don't care if you're coding in San Jose or sipping coffee on a porch in Boise, as long as you hit your deadlines. So people are asking themselves, do I want smog, traffic, and sky-high rent, or do I want mountain views, fresh air, and a mortgage that doesn't make me cry? Easy choice. Remote work gave Californians something they never had before, freedom. And once people tasted it, they weren't going back. Of course, not everyone is leaving by choice. Some are being nudged out. Reason 9: businesses packing up. It's not just families loading U-Hauls, big businesses are saying, California, it's been real, but we're out. We're talking giants like Tesla, Oracle, Hewlett-Packard, names that once defined California's innovation scene. And when those companies leave, employees don't just shrug and stay behind. They follow the jobs. Why the exodus? Simple, running a business in California feels like playing Monopoly on hard mode. High corporate taxes, sky-high real estate prices, endless regulations, it's like the state is daring you to stay. Even small business owners will tell you, between permits, fees, and rent, it feels less like entrepreneurship and more like survival. So companies are looking at Texas, Nevada, Arizona, places where taxes are lower, office space doesn't cost a fortune, and regulations aren't strangling them. And here's the ripple effect. When a company like Tesla plants its flag in Texas, it doesn't just move cars and tech. It moves thousands of jobs, new housing developments, restaurants, entire mini-economies. California isn't just losing residents, it's losing its economic backbone. And once businesses start packing up in droves, the so-called land of opportunity starts looking more like the land of missed opportunities. And hey, before we hit the last reason, which is honestly the most emotional one, make sure to smash that like button. It really helps push this video out to more people who need to hear it. 10. Quality of life and mental burnout. At the end of the day, it's not always about money, jobs, or square footage, it's about peace of mind. And California? For a lot of people, it's just exhausting. Imagine waking up every day knowing you've got to fight traffic, dodge rising bills, and cross your fingers that wildfire season doesn't send you packing again. That constant grind doesn't just drain your wallet, it drains your soul. Sure, the beaches are beautiful, the mountains are stunning, the weather is legendary. But what good is all that sunshine if you're too stressed, too broke, or too burned out to enjoy it? Families are realizing life isn't supposed to feel like an endless hustle. They're trading chaos for calm, chasing slower mornings, bigger backyards, and communities where neighbors still wave hello. And honestly, who can blame them? Moving away isn't just an escape, it's a reset button. It's saying, I don't want survival mode anymore. I want a life I can actually enjoy. And that's why, for millions, leaving California isn't just about leaving a state, it's about reclaiming their sanity. So, why are millions leaving California for good? Honestly, it's not just one thing, it's death by 1,000 cuts. The cost of living that feels like financial quicksand. Traffic that eats away at your time. Wildfires, smog, politics, taxes, businesses fleeing, it's all piled up. And meanwhile, other states are waving at Californians like, hey, we've got cheaper houses, cleaner skies, and way less stress, come on over. At the end of the day, it's a perfect storm, costs, chaos, and opportunities elsewhere. And here's the real question, if you lived in California, would you stay and fight for that sunshine dream, or would you pack up and chase a calmer, cheaper, maybe even happier life somewhere else? Drop your answer in the comments. I really want to know where you stand. Would you leave California, or are you still holding on? And hey, if you thought California's struggles were wild, wait until you see what's happening in Montana. That's right, my last video breaks down why people are bailing on Big Sky Country too. It'll surprise you. So after this, click over and check it out, you won't want to miss it. Don't forget to smash that like button if this video opened your eyes, and of course, hit subscribe for more deep dives into the places people are running to, and running from. Because trust me, the migration story of America? It's just getting started.